All right, so everybody can learn from everybody, good and bad, from these tapes. Now, this is one of the good. Learn to pump fake like DJ does. He throws at least 7 or 8 pump fakes to everybody, and at y'all's age, just at the youth level in general, guys are gonna jump. So this gives him an easy drive, right? Now, this is where you've grown, Jay. You see that DJ's driving at you. You used to stand there. Now you're learning to space up the floor, which is good. You go a little too high, especially against the zone, but hey, I'm okay with that because you're showing growth there. That's big time. I like this pivot work, Dylan. You used to travel in these situations. All right, so it's just little things. And Evan, this is a left-handed pass. I think you throw it with both, which you tried, but throw it all left, okay? Now, Jay, you see Ethan and Sincere on you. You're seeing ghosts. You can't pump fake and take all this time to shoot it on them. That got to be going up immediately. All right. All right, Eugene, we had talked about this a little bit. I was saying that you were traveling, so this is the first one that I let go when I was reffing. All right, so your right foot is your pivot foot, and then you jump again. That's a travel. So I let you make it. Great split stance by Sincere right here. That's a great move, great training. Now, Dylan, here, this is why I talk to you after the play. I say, hey man, you got to start playing defense with your feet, not your hands. This is a foul. And since White ended up grabbing the ball, I let it go. But here we are again, Eugene. After Aiden gets fouled and gets the ball to you, watch your feet. That's a travel, all right. And so we gotta call it. So remember, just be disciplined enough to keep that pivot foot down so you don't travel. Here you had talked before the ball came down. That was good. You make sure they don't hit middle, and then when they throw it to Ethan, you know that the next thing Jay's gonna do is dive. And I think you read that really good. And Ethan threw not a terrible pass, but you just made a play. All right, now here as you're driving, this is what you got to think of. You're occupying DJ, and who is this? Braden is guarding whoever this is there. So you need to throw it to your left, not your right. So as you're driving, DJ's getting occupied. You want to hit Aiden with a bounce pass so he can score. All right. So I think you just read it wrong right there. All right, Sincere. This is you're getting trapped here, so I get that. You kind of throw a high pass. We don't want it to be that high. But here's the good thing. Aiden gets the ball. You know what happens when we get a paint touch, either off the dribble or the pass. All eyes are on Aiden. And now you throw it out to Brian. And whenever you get trapped, pass. And Ethan's wide open. He just misses. All right. So that's just good basketball right there. I heard Ro really clapping that one up. That's good basketball. All right, DJ, you're growing in this area. You kind of know the offense and know where people need to be, and that's why you're pointing, sending people, you're dribbling, getting people where they need to be so y'all can be successful. This is big time growth. I like that. All right, Dylan, this is the pass you got to make. If Ethan's there, you don't want to throw a bounce pass because everybody on the court can get it. You want to throw a high pass because that's what Ethan can't catch. All right, so now he deflects it because of that. Now, Eugene, again, here we go again. Watch when you first catch the ball. You just travel. So again, those are the things that we got to clean up because you don't want to give up those possessions unforced. I really like this play, and I want to give Jay a lot of credit as well. So DJ throws it up ahead to Ethan, a hard closeout, and Jay is about to run to the block, but he sees Evan driving, so he stops. All right, so now they have to make a choice: do I stay with Jay or do I guard Evan? They chose to stay with Jay, so Evan gets a wide open layup. That was really, really good by you, Jay. And I know it goes unnoticed because it's a statless stat, but that allowed him to score because you didn't run to the block. Let's watch the ensuing possession. DJ gets it. Here goes that pump fake. And because he pump fakes, Brian has to respect that. And he just throws an extra pass, and Jay's wide open. I like the hustle by White. Aiden gets out real quick, so Evan doesn't get a wide open shot. That's good stuff right there. All right, DJ, you're getting better at banana and controlling the pace and pushing the ball at the other team because guys are still running back not knowing, so I like that adversity you're creating for the opposition. All right, so I like this. Evan gets in triple threat. That's good. Now your head is down, and so I like that you're in triple threat, but you can't make a play to pass. And look, Jay's cutting wide open, and you don't really see him. So anyway, DJ sees him, and Jay. One, two, three, four, five Whites outside of the paint. You're literally the only one in the paint. Eugene was supposed to rotate when the ball was over there. He didn't. You got to shoot that. Like that's what Jay was getting on you about. You spin in and then you take forever to shoot it. And I just called 3 seconds because I'm not even sure it was 3 seconds, but every time you don't make a decisive decision to shoot when you should, that's gonna be my call if I'm refereeing. All right, so Brian, you're doing a pretty good job of hitting middle. Aiden and you're gonna be really good at playing the middle. We're gonna move you around some, but I think you could be really good at that. It was just your first time. Ticey, you're supposed to be in the corner or closer to it, but you're standing on the wing. So now Jalen can close out to you instead of Dylan, who would have a further run. All right, but nonetheless, that's still a good shot, and Aiden created it. Aiden, everything is always right though. You should have probably went left, in my opinion, and because there's less traffic now, you run into multiple people and then have to try to pass it again. So you got to be able to drive left and right. And right now you're just right dominant. Then you got the ball deep corner right now, and we can't have live ball turnovers. So when you pass this and DJ jumps in front of it, that's live ball. That puts a lot of pressure on your defense. All right. That was a good save by DJ. But look, nobody's down here ready to be. I'm not sure who that is, but live ball turnovers mean the team can take off immediately and go score. Dead ball turns when you got to take it out of bounds. So this was a live ball turnover, wide open layup. All right, so got to clean those up. You can't turn it over in that coffin corner or down there. I like you being aggressive, but like right here, that's a foul. All right, you can't go through people's bodies like that. All right, and Sean wasn't here when I gave you your warning on that being a foul, so he didn't call it either. But that should have been a foul. So you got to learn to position yourself better. All right, Darren, I want you to see why this mistake happens. We're supposed to be in domino. And if you're in domino, you'd be making a triangle and you could throw it right, you'd be standing right here and you could throw it right there. But since you're not getting in domino, you're going straight down the middle, you got to throw it over DJ, right? Because there's no angle to throw it. So now you toss it too high because DJ's in your passing lane and it's a turnover. So like I said, there's a reason why we tell y'all to set up the way we want you to set up because now the entry passes are easier. If you I really want to work on hidden I mean diving, right? At our next practice. So good, the ball moves, it hits Aiden, and Aiden, you're open, so I don't mind the shot. But I also want to start getting us to read this cut. So Darren cuts is who is this? Dylan? Somebody, whoever this is, runs up. That would be a layup if you would cut. All right, and then you'd also have inside position on Ryan right here to get the rebound if you did cut. All right, so I just want you to kind of see that. All right, but that's not on y'all. That's something we're gonna work on. All right, Ryan, and I don't want to go without saying this. You took really good care of the ball this game, and that matters, right? Because when you get in the ball, you're not traveling, you're not making bad passes. You're looking to see if different guys are open, and it's ball you man. So that was good. Got it back to DJ. Now look, let's talk about when we get this drive, the pocket that needs to happen. We went over a version of it at last practice, but you need to kind of space to this pocket, Dylan, and just wait for him to throw it to you. You kind of space up so Ticey could guard you. It's really tough, but we'll work on that. All right, where you need to be so we can throw that pocket pass. All right, we got to take care of that ball in the open court, Aiden, because remember those are live ball turnovers. We can't have those. We're going to work on is how to guard corner. Now, one thing I could say, Darren is more on DJ's right side, so he can't get up here as easy. I'd rather him kind of angle him off a little bit more, but that's okay. But like I said, you want to guard this much court, less court, right? Rather than all this court over here. All right, so as he drives, like I said, he's going to run right into Ethan, and now they have to make a really good basketball play to beat you. All right, so that was really good defense right here, and y'all get the steal. All right. So that was great to see. Ticey, is really good to see you using that left hand off the wrong foot. Nice. That's a good thing. Wrong foot is means you shoot next level type of layups, especially with your left. Good stuff. All right, now I like the way DJ occupies Darren. Dribbles, throws a nice touch pass right over the top. And Dylan, as you turn and see, you got to see where the help comes from, which person. I thought you could have kind of dribbled and continued right and got your layup, but nonetheless, it was a good play. As we learn to make those reads, you're going to be really a problem in that middle. All right, and this is a great play here. This is a he gets into basically almost a split stance, drives, And as this person comes and helps, which is Ryan, we got the pocket right there. And Darren throws it to Aiden. That's a great basketball play for you guys. And all you can do is play your percentages. That's the type of shot you guys want. So you can live with those. All right, good play right there, Darren. All right, and there we go, hitting middle again. All right, Bailey, good touch pass. Nice. You already knew where you were going with the ball before you passed it. That's impressive. You didn't get an assist because Dylan didn't make the first one. But that was a good play. We gotta discipline ourselves, know what domino is. Ethan, this is not domino when you're straight in line with the point defender. Alright? And that's why y'all can throw an entry pass once it gets to the wing, right? And Aiden, I'm proud of how you holding on to the ball. Like that's a foul again. And Black, y'all gotta learn to like not just go and run into people when it goes middle. Y'all gotta play guard and play without fouling. All right, another drive by Darren, which is big time. And look, I want y'all to see the chaos that's created, because we're gonna start getting more into not just passing through the zone, but how to attack it. And as he attacks, he makes two guard him, and then passes. I think you actually could have shot that and made that yourself, Darren. But nonetheless, that was a good paint touch. This is another growing moment. You used to not talk at all, but now I see you pointing, telling guys where to go. That's good. All right, Tyson, when you catch this, I want it to be a read. All right, so if you notice, well, probably, Ryan's really after that ball, but don't panic. You got to see the court. Bailey, Julian, Jalen, all five people are right here around Aiden. If you throw it back to Ethan and we get pass, that's a wide open shot. All right, so it's kind of like that drill that we did in practice. Remember we put the timer, if you swing, 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 Ethan will be wide open. All right, but you kind of throw it where the crowd is. And actually, he might have got bumped. I wouldn't have called that foul, but way to come in there, Ethan. Get a steal, live ball turnover. Y'all can't give those up. And it ended up being a direct bucket. So Black, you can't allow that to happen. Ethan, way to be in domino. All right. Now, as that ball swings, Jalen has to get on top of the middleman. And Aiden, you did a good job of kind of working yourself over this way. And this is why Ethan's going to get this shot. Ryan should be ready to help on this closeout because Jaden has to get middle. Jalen. And so now Ethan's wide open. So don't forget that, Ryan, that's up top. You at least got to stun at him. We'll talk about that when I see you as well. All right, this is good. It hits middle to do it, Dylan. Julian, be careful. You don't want to drive to that coffin corner unless you got something there, because now you get stuck and it's a weak pass out and Darren steals it. Darren, I do think you get fouled a little bit on this play, but look what defensive pressure does. Tycey's wide open. Just throw it to her and that releases all the pressure. But you're trying to dribble through it, so although you got fouled some, you just need to make that simple play. All right, way to get downhill, Jalen. Now, this is another problem that we typically have. Ethan, you're in line with the person again. We're not in domino. We got to tell our guards to get in domino because then we throw it too high and it's a turnover. All right, so we just got to know, what's messing us up. Jalen, you can't turn that over. You got to throw a pass. All right, and not only that, don't feel sorry for yourself. You got to go get the last guy back, which is Darren. Ticey, that's an excellent pass right there. So Jalen, don't capitalize mistakes by feeling sorry for yourself and then letting them score on the other end. All right, Darren, I need you to do this more often as a future point guard. Look how much after you score, how much you're talking. You're pointing, you're looking around, telling people who got who, pointing back, pointing forward, right? I need that after you have 3 turnovers. All right? I need that kind of leadership. Now, what good happens right here? Ryan gets the ball, dribbles, he makes 2, you could argue 3 guard him, and then he kicks it out. Jalen, as soon as that happens, you should be here so you don't have to dribble into it, and then you get a shot off. But you get a shot off because of dribble penetration by Ryan. Good stuff there, my man. Ethan does a much better job at dribbling up towards Domino. Darren ends up at the top because he dribbled a little far over, so you have to make yourself available. I like this pass though. I mean, there's only a few kids at y'all's age just making the diagonal pass. That's a good one. Now, remember, you can take her off the dribble, Ethan, right there, and if you need to, but I do see Aiden is open. So, Aiden, this is more of a read. You feel Dylan, right? And if Jalen comes down to help, you got to know Darren's open because the help is coming from the top, which means the guy up here is open. But, that's the next level type of thinking. All right, we try to get it up. But, like I said, I like the execution on that way. Y'all, all your plays aren't judged off if the ball goes in or if it's turned over or not. What we know is if we can execute and get the ball where it needs to go, we can teach y'all how to finish. But we first got to be able to get it there, and that was a good possession. All right, so let's look at another possession. All right, so first of all, Ticey is at the top. She's on the elbow. All right, so for some reason, Ethan guards the middle. But we said, what's the purpose of attacking and getting paint touches? It's so two people guard you. So look at Ethan leave, right? Because if he shoots it from out there, Ethan blocks Dylan out. So now Ethan jumps. So now there's nobody to block Dylan out. And because of that, Ryan gets a score. Listen, everything don't got to be a stat. Some stuff you got to just do what we're asking. So Ryan catches it, makes two people guard him by being aggressive, and because of that aggressiveness, Dylan gets a rebound and a putback. I know y'all are thinking some of this stuff I just say randomly for no reason, but the reason I need Domino, two at the top, you need to wait until Ticey gets to the corner, because if Dylan has nobody back here to guard, guess what? He's going to just be able to run and stop the high post pass. But if he knows Ticey's in the corner, he can't run this high. So now we don't wait until Ticey gets to position and we throw it so Dylan is free to just run wherever he wants because he has nobody to guard over there. All right, so we got to understand spacing and where we need to be. All right, we got to grow in that area because nobody's doing it great yet. Sometimes I say this, and I know when I'm yelling it out onto the court, a lot of y'all don't know what I mean. Every pass can't come from the chest. I know when you were like really little and you go to some of these camps that do chest passes, but if there's a defender in front of you, right, this pass is about to come from your chest, right, and you're trying to throw it all the way through the lane, which means it's gonna get deflected. All right, so we got to be able to throw over the top passes, soccer pass, just different types of passes that allow us to get the ball through. Getting on Eugene earlier, so I want to give him credit for making adjustments. This is good. This is your pivot foot, your left foot, you pivot, nobody's open, and then you throw it out. I just want to stop the clip to show that you, like I say, you are getting it. So good job right there, man. All right, so we lose the ball right here for White. Black ends up with it. Now, Bailey does a good job. You have a good knack for seeing the court, Bailey, so we want to make sure we really improve that even more. One dribble up ahead. I like this because that's training snatch back and then shot. DJ created space so he could get his shot off. That's awesome. All right, like I said, Bailey, you do have a natural knack for playmaking. All right, so you throw this from your hip, right, and hit Jay, and you throw it outside shoulder because Ethan plays really good defense. Actually gets a little hand on it, but you threw it to the only place where Jay could catch it. Now, Jay, if you could balance when you should shoot versus when you're supposed to pass out better, I don't think Jabari makes that time out after you pass up this shot because this is 2 points. Your 2 point percentage is going to be better than Ethan's three, even though it goes in. Good shot, by the way, Evan. So you got to shoot this, but if you balanced it better, then I think he'd let you pass that ball and hit that three. But he called a timeout because that was like the third time this game where you passed up a layup to pass it to somebody farther from the basket. All right, when you hear me say throw it back and forth, I mean start throwing it now. Throw it to Brian now. He throws it back before you get even with DJ. All right, we don't want to throw loopers, so what we want to do is throw that ball sooner. All right, so as that ball's coming down, we don't want to wait until we get here. Now our pass has to be high, and they're going to try to run through those passes. But Bailey, I asked you to get more aggressive, and you started doing it. I thought you adapted well. Now here, DJ's still in line, right, with the person he's guarding, and he's making him throw it high, which gives Evan a chance. Brian, way to meet the ball. Most players wait until it comes to them. And if you did that, Evan would have got the steal and had a layup. Now, the ball is in the corner, and they are trapping corners, obviously, right? But this is what you need once there's a trap. You need a person on the block. We need a sideline person, and we need a person right here, like in the middle. All right, so I like what Ethan does over here. He sprints all the way. Even though he's a little late, he's occupying that space. And Brian, you need to be in front of Evan so you can throw an easier pass. All right, be mindful of this right here. Watch your feet. Pump fake trap. So you're pump faking while you're stepping. So you got to watch that because you do that every blue moon. So be careful not to turn that over. This isn't just for Ticey. This is for everybody. When you hear me say be aggressive, learn to pick your spots. This is what I mean. So on the first pass, most people play defense good. Like that. Like I said, Braden's there. Bailey has help. There's nothing there. But watch what happens after we move the ball and it gets back to you a second time. That's where I think when I say be aggressive, you need to hit that gap. make another person guard you, drop it off to Sincere, make another person guard you, throw it to Ethan. If Bailey doesn't do her job, go score yourself. And then you don't look to attack space and make two guard you. You jab, then you pass again. Now, Ethan, we don't want the ball to keep coming back to the same side. All right, we talk about that. But nonetheless, we get a shot up, but that's not what we want. All right, so don't keep bringing it back there. DJ comes down. He makes two guard him, kind of how we practiced it. All right, and this is the read I want you to start being able to make. When you get here, right, that's two guard, that's an over-the-top situation to Jay. And if Ticey helps too much to be able to throw a big boy hook pass, that's a tough pass to Bailey. Because she has to choose, is she going to guard Jay or Bailey? All right, and if you can make two guard you and then make this play, that'll be good. But nonetheless, we get a dribble penetration. Now, Braden, when that ball comes from, and you see DJ running right, because you're right-handed, you can't just attack right only. You got to get stronger with the left, because DJ's kind of in your way now. All right, so and then there we go. You could have had a drive, but Brian just got good hands. Good stuff right there. End of quarter. Let's go to second half. So I just want to remind y'all, everything don't got to be a highlight. Some stuff just got to be all you can do is your job, right? So Ryan gets the ball back, pump fakes, and this is what I mean. This is not a chest pass. Watch what type of pass he makes. Pump fake. He throws a pass with his outside hand on the baseline where nobody is so Dylan can catch the ball. All right. Darren plays good defense right there. All right. And they just get aggressive and Ticey takes it away. But that's a good passing angle you created there, Ryan. All right. I got to put this down because this is one of my favorite possessions. I like pushing the ball because, as you see, we got a guy behind, right? Which means everybody's not going to be in position when we get down there. We got Ryan who can't see the ball because he's still running to his position. All right, so Ticey's pushing it. She goes, playing aggressive first. DJ comes out of position, right? I'm not saying anything's wrong with that because they were going for steals. Nothing wrong with that. But if they come out of position, they do got to pay for it. Julian has two guys to guard, Ethan or middle. Darren hits middle. All right, now, of course, Dylan has to help. We throw it over here to Brian. Brian reads the closeout and then just goes by his momentum, shoots the floater. That's literally almost how we drill it. That was excellent basketball right there. That stood out in my mind when we left the gym. Good stuff. All right, Ryan, I'm really impressed how you seem to know who you are in these situations. You drive, right? See if you could get something. As soon as you don't get anything, you retreat and get off the ball, which is good, all right? Because that meant the defense had to shift to some degree, all right? DJ goes in attack, sees a gap, looks to make two people guard him. Make sure you try to dive with them too, if you can, Dylan. And then this is great. You get fouled, DJ. Well, it didn't get called, but you did get fouled. So way to attack the basket. That was a good play. Very similar play. Ryan drives, almost identical. This time DJ takes the shot. But guys, we gotta block out, especially when you know the guys who are gonna crash. Dylan's gonna crash. So Darren, Brian, y'all gotta put a body on him. So he goes and gets his team an extra possession just through hustle. Here's the power of the pump fake. Ticey, you gotta stay there if he's that close to the basket. But pump fake, and then you just got to finish that. Here's the other thing. Skill-wise, Dylan, you got to work on this. You can't just dribble with your right hand. You pump fake, it's in your left hand, and you want to dribble with your right hand anyway. All right, so we got to get stronger in those areas. All right, but look at this. Drive, make two guard, kick. Great, Jalen. Throw it on the line a little harder. Now, here's another drive. Dylan, you got to understand space. If you space right here, DJ's looking to hit you. But you space behind Darren. You'd have a layup if you were over here. And he kind of throws it where you should be, and that's why he turns it over. And if you watch his body language, he's saying, cut, So just know where to be. Understand, have that court awareness that'll help your game. Great inside pass. Brian, I thought you should have turned and scored that. All right, but good entry. Credit to the league as a whole on this one. I've been really proud of this. Like the sharing of the basketball. All right, the defense is good enough so people can't just run straight to the middle and score. And y'all have to play. Y'all have to make some reads. Now, Aiden, you should pivot on this. Look at your footwork. You just kind of throw it. Ticey, you should at least look at the rim on this, right? Nobody's there, and you throw it to Ethan, and for what? All right, that's opportunity right here. All right, but look, watch how the ball moves. It's the right side. Brian looks down low to Aiden, but Aiden doesn't really dive. All right, that's okay. He dives this time. Brian, you can tell he looks at him, but too big of a squeeze. Good skip pass. It hits Darren. Darren attacks, make two guard. DJ overplays Ethan with a wide open shot. Like, if you're going to play that good of offense and you're going to get this quality of shot, you're going to live with Ethan shooting that elbow jumper. That's a great shot. All right, so really good stuff here. I'm loving that. All right, sometimes it surprises me how much training DJ uses in the actual game. But this is a snatchback. He dribbles, he looks for space, so he crosses over, buys time, retreats, dribbles, and then he hits Dylan. All right, and you just can't travel on that, Dylan. But this was a really good sequence of plays. Is how he bought time for guys to get open and hit that middle. You just can't travel right there, Dylan. Another credit to you guys. So this is the black team with the ball movement. Yeah, I feel like y'all can pass the ball because the ball typically will find you back, right? So you don't gotta force anything. So Dylan throws it, then DJ throws it right back to Dylan. So Dylan's the one who started off with the ball and got the shot. So like when you're able to play unselfish because you know the ball is gonna can come back to you, then the ball starts ping ponging around really quick, and it makes it a lot harder to guard you. All right. Got to talk about what most people don't see. All right. So Darren gets the ball. He's about to shoot it. Bailey has two people to guard. This is an overload. We haven't even practiced this yet, but y'all just kind of walked into it. So Bailey has to guard Darren because he will shoot it. But also Darren's selfless enough to throw that extra pass for an easier shot. All right. So because he threw that extra pass, Tycee can now drive. Now let's look at Jay. Jay, for Tycee not to get a lip, has to help. So now, since Jay has to leave his man because of the drive and making two people guard him, now Jalen has to deal with both Aiden and Brian. All right. And that's just a tough rebound. 2 against 1 on that rebound. We just got to knock that in. But again, it's just credit to great offense once again. And I do want to address this because this play made Jay look bad, but he did the right thing. So Braden, he gets the ball. You're open. This isn't a backpedal situation. This is a turn and run situation. And that's what Jay is seeing right now. So Jay, as much as you pass, you do have good court awareness when it comes to passing. All right. So Braden, you got to just take off. If you'd have took off, he threw you right into a layup. Again, we'll watch more good basketball. All right. Again, as y'all get better, the results will take care of themselves. We get middle, right? And way to follow the ball to the elbow. So now Jalen's out of position. He's supposed to be opposite elbow, but he has to guard that. All right. And so now the ball goes. You don't need that dribble, Aiden. We just got to knock that shot in, Tycee. That's the shot you can make. But let's look at some of the training stuff. I don't know if any of y'all remember this drill, but Darren steps into Evan, does a reverse pivot spin, and then crosses to get himself open. He loses the handle, which is why I think he threw this cardinal sin of a pass, this 2-foot pass. I hate 2-foot passes. All right, but Aiden, so you got to have a little bit more patience because you're kind of panicking, so you just throw it, right? And nobody's there. So we got to get stronger at those reads for you. Good behind the back right there, Braden. And way to play through the play, Darren. Jay stops, you keep going, get a wide open layup. Brett Bailey, right here, I yelled out, be more aggressive. Tycee reaches with the wrong hand, right? So she's completely out the play. And if she's reaching here, that means there's nothing but space here. And you can drive, especially if Jay goes to the block, because Jay's always going to space out your way if he sees you driving. So you turn, you don't even look to dribble and attack, right? I want you to see that. So just know, if Tycee reaches and she was bottom block, there's nobody here. You got to feel that. And then you throw it instead of attacking it. And so we just got to get better at that. And then you killed the spacing. So Jay had the ball on the block, and you start walking into him when you need to stay spaced out. All right. So then he throws it where you probably should have been. Brian swings it. Evan comes out pretty far. Now you got to be careful of this because this is technically still a travel. Watch this left foot. That foot leaves before you dribble. And if you just dribble with your left hand, Eugene, it wouldn't have been a travel. But that foot definitely lifts up. But I like this move. Little low dribble there just so you get through with that floater. That was nice. I had to put this because I had to rewind this twice to make sure I saw what I saw. Look at this pass by Brian. This is a true push pass. First he gets the steal. His body gets turned, and he throws a push pass all the way down the court. All right? I don't know if y'all understand how difficult that is, but that's able to initiate and start y'all's fast break. All right, so that was really, really good. Gave your team an opportunity, and that's all you can do is give your team opportunities. Again, DJ, you got to be more careful. This is a travel. Alright, watch it again. As soon as you catch it, you're traveling. Pump fake, then you move your feet, shuffle your feet. Alright, so y'all actually did a pretty good job of this. You see how Braden is high and tall, trying to get him to throw over the top? And y'all basically decided we're going to keep the ball on this side of the court. Evan has the middle guy. This is like perfect execution, which means you're giving up something, right? And now here's the thing, Eugene, you're behind everybody. I actually don't even know how Darren saw you back there. But you're not spaced out so you could catch and shoot, and you're not up here in a pocket to shoot it. But he does get it to you. Now here's the habits you want to break. Like you dribble with your right hand, should be left, right? And you don't go a ton of places. So then you get the ball again, and Dylan, watch out for your swinging. You're just swinging it, folks. You get it again, and you dribble and go nowhere. Boom. Why take that dribble? All right. But those are the little things that we want to correct. But hey, that was a really good pass by Darren there. And way to skip it over the top. All right, another play. DJ's still kind of thinking a play ahead, which is good. Pulls it back. Evan, you're running to a spot and you're not really looking at space, right? And here's the thing. You're not used to playing with players that will hit you if you cut. But right now, Dylan's being guarded by, I think that's Brian, I can't tell. But right here where DJ throws it, you were open for a layup. He throws it where you should have cut to. So just kind of recognize that. And sometimes you got to recognize who has the ball and who can make those plays, and then think, oh, I need to cut here or there. All right. But not, again, not your fault, just a recognition thing. You were more aggressive in the second half, much more aggressive. You got to the paint. I think you always make this pass to Sincere, but sometimes I wanted you to be more aggressive and you were, so you shot it, and that's fine. Sincere and Dylan, way to go after this ball, keep it alive. Now, what did I say? If a person shoots from this corner, the rebound's probably going to go where? 80% of the time, over the rim. And the statistics were right. They did. All right, so y'all get another possession because two people were in what we call the hot spot. Now, this is what I like in the growth. Darren's here. He sees space here. We have an excellent passer here, so Darren cuts to space. Now, Dylan, you can't have those violent swings at blocks. It's just, even if it's not a foul, they're gonna anticipate the call, and they should. You gotta get your hands up to block, not swing. All right, so let's make sure we clean the fundamentals of blocking shots up. All right, another situation. Jay's running down the middle of the floor. You can watch him. DJ has the ball, and he's anticipating that you're gonna stay in space, Jay. And you only been in the 3 second key for like a second. So if you stayed in space, you would have been wide open for this layup. All right. And so he didn't. DJ was expecting you to cut towards the basket, towards the open area. All right. So good play by you, DJ. You got to read that, Jay. All right. So I like this possession because DJ's getting everybody in order. Dylan has to go corner, right? You saw him just float to the corner. He makes sure he establishes a middle person, and then we can play. All right. So now the ball goes over here. Dylan, make sure you don't turn your back to the guys. You could have caught that where you reverse pivot and face the rim. All right. Now, once the ball goes, the coach is saying throw the ball to DJ, but Darren overplays that. So now middle's open, and I like that you made that read. So at this point, we got the ball middle. Now it's 1, 2, 3 blacks against 1, 2 whites. All right. So Julian's open. So guess what Ethan does? He runs to Julian. And now, Ryan, you got Jay wide open. That's great execution. If you do that, do this, we're doing that. All right, Jay, you just got to finish that layup. But again, I want y'all to see the execution y'all are starting to bring. All right. Oh, watch that travel again, Eugene. All right, so again, the reason we do all those pump fake, pass fake, jab fake drills is for reasons like this. This DJ's pump fake opens up so many passing lanes for him. Pump fake, the guy jumps, pass. Easy, right to the middle. All right, to the letter. All right, now this is disappointing. We got to get better at this. If we see our guy trapped, and I know we hadn't drilled this a ton, but you got to decide, does this guy need space or support? All right, so right now, maybe he needs space, but at this point, when he's trapped like this, he needs support. All right, and nobody came to support him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Darren should run here. Brian should run middle. Sincere should run over here and create a triangle. Give him some passing outlets. So Rowe calls a timeout because, y'all are just in too much trouble. But how is he supposed to get out of this if his teammates are all back here being covered? All right. So again, the two things that you gotta have work if you want to be consistent at attacking a 3-2 is you gotta have somebody who can enter the ball easily and give the middleman some space, and you gotta have a middleman that can make good decisions. All right, and I think both of these things happen right there. DJ gets it in, gives his middleman a ton of space, so it's not a lob in there, and he just gets a good look at the rim. We just gotta get to the point where we're finishing those. All right, so Black, you gotta have your head on a swivel a little bit, right? Just to know, like, when guys are diving. So White has done a good job, especially like Darren, Brian here. They're diving, right, to open space, and then they're getting really good, easy shots. So we got to make sure we read those defensively. All right, so what did we say? We need somebody who could put our guys in good position. All right, DJ drives. Jay continues to space like he's supposed to. Boom, right in between everybody. He's wide open. He needs to go up immediately. I think it might have got tangled up or something, but that was a good drive. I mean, good pass, and then waited space. Good shot there. This is why Rose switched to having Brian take it up, because he's a taller guard. Like, if you're a taller player, make sure you work on your guard skills because you have value. So Brian doesn't have to throw a lob pass over everybody. He could just throw a direct pass. And then, boom, Aiden catches it with plenty of space because it's a straight direct pass, and he's able to make a quicker decision. All right, we still got to work on the footwork side of that, Aiden, but hey, good touch right in the middle lane. Into the end, I think this is the possession that ties the game. Again, the ball movement is good. All right, I like the way Sincere lifts, right, because Darren had cut, so we need a guy to lift. He swings it, gets to the other side of the court. So now the defense is sprinting at Eugene. Eugene takes one jab, attacks the gap. If he makes two guard him, great. But if the second person doesn't get his chest in front of him, all the way to the basket. Really good touch, good shot right there, Eugene. Stress the importance of little things. So DJ drives. This is how important rebounding is. If we block out, or well, we got dribble penetration, so Brian had to help. So he had to come out of rebounding position, which left Brian there. Darren, you got to rotate down because you know the rebound's not going to bounce out here if it's a layup. And then, I mean, Bailey hits it, and then somebody else hits, I think it's Brian, and Black gets ball. All right, so that's why we got to get possessions, because this is the possession that ended y'all. DJ runs through. Brian, you got to see the court. You got to turn your body this way so you can see who's running through. This is supposed to be an elevator screen. DJ runs behind it because he doesn't need it. And then, Sincere, you see him running out there. If you see Brian doesn't see, you need to rotate. All right, and then boom, that's the game winner right there. Always, you guys are always fun to watch. Let's keep up the good work. We got things to add on Thursday. See y'all soon.